For most Virginians, chestnuts are just a memory from a Christmas song. But this fall, multiple orchards across the state are welcoming customers to pick their own chestnuts.
In 2009, we planted the trees that you see around us. So these trees are 15 years old. And we started learning about chestnuts and growing chestnuts and selling chestnuts, and we ship them all over the country.
Kim Bryant and her husband David own and operate Virginia Chestnuts LLC in Nelson County. After more than a decade of successful online and farmers market sales, they knew that fresh, local chestnuts were in high demand. Then, in 2020, they encountered a huge setback.
2020, when COVID was here, we actually lost our crop due to a late frost. We had a frost in April, and then there was a second frost in May, and it basically killed all the blossoms, and we didn't have anything to grow or pick, or there was just nothing. The next year, in 2021, we decided that we would go ahead and try Pick Your Own to try and recoup some of the losses, but we didn't know if anybody would drive to where we are. We live on a dirt road. Would they come all this way? And now more than half of our customers are coming from Northern Virginia area and from Richmond and from some different areas. Yesterday, even we had people coming from Raleigh. We had 2 different families come from Raleigh, North Carolina to pick chestnuts.
Raleigh is almost 200 miles away from the Bryant's farm. Jim Zablosky, an adjunct professor and pick-your-own enthusiast, drove from nearby Amherst, Virginia.
It's not a difficult drive. It's a fun drive. It's kind of a scary drive when you get this far out. I'm pretty sure I saw a couple dinosaurs as I was driving out here, so it's a little remote, but that's the fun part of it. You know, you just drive on, you're like, oh wow, this is so cool.
Zablosky visited Virginia Chestnuts last year and was excited to come back.
You share with each other, you learn from each other, which I think is the fun part of coming locally. You talk to somebody who grows chestnuts, who has those issues. In fact, last year, just by having the conversation with her, we ended up buying 2 chestnut trees. I thought, I'm going to give this a try.
In nearby Rockingham County, Daniel Jefferson and his family have been raising chestnuts since 2014. Like the Bryants, they began offering a pick-your-own option as an experiment.
We started it in 2022. That was the first year we opened the farm up, and didn't know what to expect because we didn't know if people were going to come and pick chestnuts. So we opened the farm up, and the first year we got a pretty good response, and then last year, even though we didn't get as many chestnuts last year, we got an overwhelming response for a pick your own. And this year so far, with a lot of chestnuts, we're having a good crop. We're getting a great response on folks coming in picking their own chestnuts.
Jefferson says that many of their customers come from Northern Virginia and that October is prime pick-your-own time.
Chestnuts usually start dropping, and we don't open the farm until the chestnuts drop. It usually starts dropping in late September, depending on the weather, the wind and the rain. We can go all the way through the month of October. Usually by the end of October, we close the farm down as far as pick your own. But we do harvest a few more for internet orders and also for wholesale.
Both orchards are open through the month of October for Pick Your Own and also offer online sales while supplies last. Kim Bryant says there are many delicious chestnut creations.
My sister makes a really good chestnut white wine risotto. Some people just like them raw. We have also made a chestnut puree, and when we take that puree, we've actually put that into a chestnut ice cream. We made a chestnut ice cream. We put that into a sweetbread recipe, like a banana bread. So there's a lot of different things. Soups. I really like the puree as a foundation for a good fall soup, where you add chicken stock and a heavy broth to that, and sometimes throw an apple in there, and it's just really good and something a little bit different. For Americans that had not had chestnuts before, it's a new experience.
Both Jefferson and Bryan agree that pick-your-own chestnuts have been especially popular with customers from cultural backgrounds where chestnuts are a dietary staple.
What I like about this is we have learned so much about people that have migrated to this country and are like the American dream, and they want to tell us their stories about what brought them here and then their memories of chestnuts in their home countries. And so that's been the biggest joy for me, and it was totally not what we thought the business model was going to be, so it's just been a wonderful surprise.
Those looking to go nuts can visit virginiachestnuts.com or chestnutsva.com for more information. For Real Virginia, I'm Elijah Griles.